What is going on, Coin Observatory? See, we're live on Facebook. We are live on YouTube as well. I'm gonna drop a quick alert. Stream is live. All right. What is going on, world? A couple of days ago, maybe even a couple weeks ago, we were talking about if you close above 7,800, 7,880, 79, the next target's gonna be 10K, 9,800 to 10K, and it looks like we hit that just today. It's been a strong upwards bullish push. You guys have been following the streams. I've been looking for 61.8 retracements. It looks like BitMEX is above the 61.8 and Coinbase is below, and that's gonna we're gonna see that difference because of these wicks, right? These wick lows, they're at different prices. BitMEX was at like 35 and Coinbase was at 38, so you're gonna have different 61.8s. But so in this stream, we're gonna discuss these charts, Ether, BTC. I'm going to talk a little about the S&P. I'm going to try to keep this one short and sweet, unless you guys bombard me with a bunch of questions. Ferris, what's up? Katrina, Promo, Escobar. Look at you guys, man. You got a flooded stream. A lot of comments. Thank you guys for tuning in. What's up, Georgia? Thanks for the love. I haven't seen, such big bullish candles on BTC in a while, right? So why was I targeting 7,800 and then 10K? All right, so our 7,800 target came from this fib extension or fib retracement, right? Swing high to swing low, and it was basically a retracement of this bear move to 61.8, which sets it right here. And once you broke above that, my next target was the bigger 61.8. For you guys in VIP, I did post alternate 61.8s when you're still in the 7K range. All right, so I put up these two fibs in Discord in my notes, and I tagged everyone and said, hey guys, next target's 10K. Now that we're here, I announced to VIP that I'm fully hedged on margin, so I've pretty much covered. And then I opened a small short. You're like, why would you short a bullish move? It's a small short. It's been over 4,800% on the up move, and now I'm not saying it's a 50-50 chance if you're going to get a retracement or not, right? Usually after a 61.8 retracement, when the chart comes down and retraces 61.8, we expect another move down. I'm not saying we're going to crash, but we should see some kind of liquidity tested below. We might not, right? So if we're going to get a pullback, this is the pullback zone, right? If we're not going to get a pullback and we're going to go higher, then my next target is going to be 12.6. Right here, I'm going to put it on the chart for you guys. So and that's off the smaller fib, right? 12.3, right? So it's a 50-50 shot over here, whether we're gonna rally above the larger 61.8, right? And then the next move before we see true liquidity get tested. What I mean by liquidity tested, I'm talking about this was a gap fill, but something like that, like a savage bull trap where people are like, oh, it's going to break out, it's going to keep going. And it just comes down and liquidates everyone, and then it keeps going up, right? So it's either going to happen here or it's going to happen at 12,300. And that's why I'm only betting small short. I'm not going big short. And I know, man, I'm not trying to get anybody's hopes up. I'm just, back in April 6th, I put out a tweet saying what's first, 54 or 96, and everybody voted 54. Let's take a look at ETH. ETH is doing something pretty much similar, right? So I'm done with BTC. I covered why I'm potentially seeing a liquidity play down from here. Might not be a big one, and if we don't get it, then we're gonna get it at 12K. Now Ether is doing something. Let's just draw it out so I'm not just talking out of my mouth. So if we pull this retracement, which would compare to the smaller retracement on BTC, we're literally stuck below the 61.8, right? But BTC went through the smaller fib and went up to a larger 61.8. We're going to call that the alternate, right? So the alternate on ETH, if it's going to follow BTC's paces, right, then we're looking for 260, right? That's the larger 61.8. Right now, Ether is somewhat stuck, right? If we're looking for the same move, then, you know, ETH is consolidating somewhere. Green is my 38.2. It's consolidating somewhere over here before it does another up thrust. You know, I did hedge Ether also today, and I posted that, and I posted my stops for the VIPs. What's going on? Alright, looks like, what's his name? CZ's putting out Bitcoin above 10K tweets, trying to create some more liquidity, some more FOMO. Now, if ETH does rally, right, if it does get above the smaller 61.8, which is, we're looking at it, right, and this is the Coinbase chart, we're trying to close above. If it does make this push up, then the next target would kind of be like going from 7,800 on BTC to 10K. It would be up to 259, right? If we get that push. If we don't get that push, then we're likely going to retrace back down. That's, you know, based on fibs, based on how market cycles work. That's my analysis. KD is still bullish on the daily on our RBI. Phantom wants to move up to like 342 on the daily. You're gonna discount that. Let's go into like an hourly, sub-hourly. Remove drawings. Let's hide RBI. First, I'm going to do a harmonic scan to see if there's any patterns. I've been scanning BTC all day and I'm not seeing one. The interesting part is we're holding above these phantom midlines, right? We're trying to close above the 61.8. So I want to see a move up, which would totally be fair at 227 on the hourly. Alright, what's going on, you guys on Facebook? Smash that like button. How long are we waiting for push? Rest of the week? So, what do we know about weeks and Monday through Friday? The CME closes Friday, right? Weekends are low volume, traditionally speaking. So there might be some kind of CME gap play. There could be some of that, right? I don't know how long we're going to be at the 61.8, right? I don't. Conversely, you know, like this move didn't stop at a 61.8, right? Unless we forced it to, like going down to like the candle bodies. And remember this top, I made a lot of posts everywhere saying, you know, are we fibbing wicks or are we fibbing bodies, right? And it was the body wicks that gave a clean 61.8. We ended up hedging short here and here, and then the drop. So I'm not saying we're going to see this kind of liquidity, right? I'm not. But I do believe in 61.8 retracements. Another example of that is going to be the S&P, right? We're targeting 292 since like, when did I go to St. Martin? You know, the week after, so March 26th, I have some posts saying 292 is the target. It hit the 61.8, it came back down to the 15. Now it's in between. It's kind of doing a bull flag, right? Let's see what futures have done in after hours. So I do believe in the 61.8 retracements. You can't discount them. And I'd like to see the down move play out sooner rather than later because I'm already net short. Small move. You still have my longs open on September futures. I hedged them completely on December because it was marked up like 4%. And then I shorted perp, right? Link USD. So here's something that's important, right? You guys talking about Link, and I posted this today in the BitMEX chat and BitMEX Savagery. I said when BTC hits to 61.8, right? And we're gonna get that turn. It might be a good time to pick up some of these really strong alts. Something like Link, BTC just got listed on Gemini, so. But I do think, you know, if BTC does pull back, we're going to see a bounce in alts. Like we might see Link bounce real hard. We might see Tezos bounce real hard, right? So these are the things that once we get off the stream, I'm going to go through these charts. That's kind of where I signaled the exit. So I'm going to go through some of these charts and see which of these plays are best. But yeah. Read on Twitter that there is a CME gap at 7,600. Is that true? Well, let's look around. So remember, not all gaps are going to fill. You're gonna have what are called separation gaps. And if there is a significant gap at 70, it's actually yeah, I mean, no, that one filled. That one filled. In my perspective, it filled. Where are we now? Where is 76? So not all gaps are going to fill 100%, right? I mean, this is a $40 gap. I don't think the chart's gonna pull back. There's also one down here, but this is during a trading period, right? So I don't think the chart's gonna pull back. What is that, 30%? I don't think the chart's gonna pull back 24% to fill a 0.5% gap, right? That's not logical, right? Now, the difference between this gap and the gap that we targeted in the 2019, was it 2019? Yeah, 2019 run, right? That was a massive gap, right? It was a really big gap, and that's the one that filled, right? Probably filled like, yeah, this one filled to the T. That was a gap move from 64 to 68. So this is a 6% gap, right? Not a 3%, or not even a 0.44. How far back will it pull back? That's the magic. That's, you know, that's the $1,000,000 question, as they say. I mean, this is the BetMEX chart. It can be misleading because those bulls just buy, right? When they're bullish. What is this? Okay, this is interesting. This is the Bitstamp chart, right? So another move, you know, another fib, another play that could be another possible target's like 11.4, right? And that's just going to be the really big fib for the entire swing high to swing low of the bear market. And that's what makes these charts a little bit more complicated, right? The longer an asset is trading, the more swing highs and swing lows we get, the trickier it is to trade it, right? You know, back in 2017, we really didn't have any of that. Once we cleared that high, then it was extension, and then liquidity, extension, liquidity, extension, liquidity, bubble, and then bust, right? So I don't know if we're, you know, we're definitely parabolic right now. right? But I don't know how sustainable it is because it's at that 61.8. Let's go back to the Coinbase chart and me answer your question. You guys on Facebook, I am taking questions from the YouTube stream, right? If you're wondering who I'm talking to, you guys are super quiet. Right. There's a statement I say, if you short before the 61.8, you're just donating your money to the market. That's what I was telling everybody about the stock market, and now we're seeing it on BTC. But we're definitely at a interesting point. How far back will we pull back? 88.50 would be a good spot. If you look at like TD sequential, we're past the 13. This candle is red, right? So we might be seeing something like we saw back here and a move down. Let's look at Phantom, because that should give us, if it's in bounds, it should give us where liquidity is going to be, right? So rightfully I did post that I'm shorting the 61.8, and finger crossed it plays out. But if we're gonna get a big move down, right, I think 9K is fair. I think 9K is a fair level. On the way down, there's going to be a few supports. There's 96.20. There's 98.60. But I think the pain's going to be really down here at the 9,060 mark. That's just, let's go to like maybe the 15. It's out of bounds on the 15. But you zoom out and very few are gonna expect it to come all the way back down to this low. But I mean, if we start getting a pullback here, these are my first 3 targets. Drew, let me read your question out loud. Maybe I'll understand it better. BTC short from 13.9 to 42 seems to be holding the 13.9 to 42. I see where you got 13.9. Where'd you get 42, man? This low? The daily on Coinbase is not above the 61, right? We're just under it. It's trying to break it. We don't have confirmation of it yet, right? If this decides to stop me out, I'll stop all my shorts, let my longs run. But I wanted to secure the profits from 6K up to 10. That's why I hedged the futures, the December futures, and they're at a premium. So if we get that dip, they might end up at a discount. If they end up at a discount, we're gonna be great, because that's another like 5% times 100. There's another 500% to be made just by picking the right contract. All right, guys, hit me with some questions. A lot of water. And I am wearing a red shirt, right? I don't usually wear red, but it's because I'm actually a little short. Hopefully it doesn't backfire, right? Pretty nasty. Alright guys, we've only been live for like 19 minutes. Let's give me some questions, drill me, you think I'm wrong, you think my targets are bad, let me know. What are you guys seeing? Let's go back to ETUSD. I never really want to see that move to 260, like really want to. like something I was looking at on Ether, right? There was that rising wedge, and they kind of it's trying to tuck back up, right? We know that rising wedges, an Elliott wave, wave 1, can be a leading diagonal, which would lead to a bigger move up. Now, I'm not going to Elliott wave draw this right now. I haven't done any Elliott waving on ETH since the last top, and it tricked me. I'm not the Elliottician. Now, we put up this trend line, right? And I was kind of highlighting a fib fractal in the Ether in one of the channels today. Okay, just bear with me. And we see, which one was it? This swing high to this swing low, right? And we got to move up to the 1.618. And this is the 50, it's the 61.8, right? So ETH kind of consolidated the 61.8, and then I'm going to go ahead and put an arrow there so you guys know what I'm talking about. So this is the 61.8, and we saw the trend kind of pull back, right? Back to the trend line, then acceleration, a flag at the 61.8, then a blow off all the way up to the 1.6. Now, you know, if we do something similar here, and we're at the 61.8, right, and we do get a blow off, you know, this is like ultra bull mode. I'm not too like confident in this setup, but it kind of looks similar. But I am hedged on Ether, right? I did have a ladder on my stops. I think half of my stops are stopped right now. I'm just gonna wait to see what happens with a close. So you know, these are the same fib levels as before. We're still above this trend line. So if this is gonna pop off now, it's gonna need like strong trend acceleration. If it goes sideways anymore, I don't think it's gonna be good. Alright fam, thank you all for tuning into the stream. I know it was quick and brief. I can't give you like a decisive bull or bear. I told you my positioning and my reasoning behind it. Hopefully it plays out, right? Bulls make money, bears make money, and then pigs get slaughtered, right? And just don't be a pig, hedge, take profit. Sometimes you're wrong, right? And then if you are wrong in your hedge, it's like you're kind of covered. I think I can. So looking at like BTC USD. And then I think there's like BTC 26. June derivative. Right? So there's not a big spread on these two, right? But if you're, first of all, you guys know I rarely trade perps. I rarely trade perps. BTC 27 to derivative December. Boom, 10,200, right? You see this thing? It's at 10,200, and so to the left we have December 2020. To the right we have June 2020. I'm just gonna go up here real quick. Well, you can't see the price if I do that. Never mind. So if Bitcoin's trading at 10,000, this is answering Eric's question. So Eric, Bitcoin's trading at 99.95, okay? Bitcoin futures trading at 10,257. All right? If Bitcoin crashes or if it pulls back, this futures contract is more than likely going to not have as much liquidity. So as it drops, it's going to come closer to spot, right? And we've seen these drops when, like, you know, I remember shorting Ether one time for like a 10% premium and then longing it at a 10% discount. And it was just like, what the hell just happened? Like, I just saw my Deribit account 20x in a drop because I happened to short the top. But if I, so anyways, this isn't about me, but Bitcoin's trading at 99.62 and the future is trading 3% higher, right? 2.85% higher. So the odds are, you know, if you're gonna short, you want to short something at a premium. And when December does a liquidity gram, let's say Bitcoin goes down to that 9K target, right? Let's go to the hourly. Let's go to the hourly so they're both matching charts, right? Let's say Bitcoin goes down to 9K because that's what Phantom is saying on the hourly, on the 5 actually. Then this is likely to go down to probably lower than 9,200 just because the lack of liquidity. And at that point, you know, if somebody wants to long December and we think that's truly the next pivot, then you close that, right? But there's definitely that premium. So you always want to short at a premium and you want to long at a discount. I mean, imagine longing 10,200 on a December future, right, on an up move. I don't know who does that. I'm glad they do it because it allows us to short in it, but it just blows my mind. You're welcome, Katrina. Now, you know, back at one point, if we see BTC 26 September or June, right? And I'm going to remove all my indicators. And like these swing lows right here, they were running right about even, but at one point I guarantee that, so let's look at this swing low, 58.34 flush, 44.21 flush. So, all right, the low on Bitcoin was like 38.43. The low on the futures contract was 35, right? So from 38 to 35, and that's a pretty big difference. And that's, you know, that's going to give you these opportunities to buy at a discount. I think it was September. That's the one I have. $2.5 B20. That one was, I think, trading at a discount at some point. Yeah, so you see like this swing low is 57.93. Oh, you can't see it, I'm sorry. Right, 57.89 here, and then on actual BTC is a little higher, 58.54. So you want to long at a discount. You always do because you're taking advantage of the market's bias, and you want to short at a premium because you're also taking advantage of the market's bias, and yeah. Everybody smash that like button. What's up, Stephen Marsh? What's up, Jesse Maxwell? You guys just not tuning in? All right, fam. You guys have any more questions? That was a really good question. I know a lot of you guys are like, why are you doing this future? Why are you doing that? So, and it doesn't always work out, but if we're at a top or we think at a top and we want to take a short, you know, what's at a premium? It's going to come down. There's not going to be enough liquidity on those futures. All right, fam. Thank you guys for tuning in. Make sure you're on Discord. Make sure you smash that like button. We're at the 61.8. I've been looking forward for 10K. Now I'm wearing red. I'm not liking a big short at all. I think it's like maybe 20% of my original long. Just want to have some short exposure in case you have that dip, right? I still have my long open. I have the December short, which is inside of premium, January 61.8. So I hope my positioning is right. If you guys position, similarly, if we're right, we're gonna make some money while everybody's buying the top, thinking we're going higher. Maybe it's a small liquidity play. Maybe we guys stopped out, right? So market's at a pivotal point. I did post saying this was a 50-50. If you get above the 61.8, we're going to 12. If you come back, if you don't get above the 61.8, this was 61.8 retracement, is going to be liquidity below. So look out for those. Other than that, it's a wrap. Thanks for tuning in.